Welcome back to BCTD Now, this news information video for the week of November 14th. First, as it relates to the Keystone XL Pipeline, seems like it's headed for a delay as the U.S. State Department goes back to the review process in order to determine if an alternate route can be fashioned for that portion of the pipeline that crosses through the Sand Hills region of Nebraska. No word yet on just how long this review will take, but it's certainly a disappointment to the thousands of American workers who were counting on that job. And now for some good news. Last week, voters in Ohio made their voices heard loud and clear. In a landslide vote to repeal, 62% to 38%, Issue 2 was defeated. Modeled after the Wisconsin bill, Issue 2 was the law that restricted public workers' rights to collectively bargain. After its initial passage in March, Governor Kasich had championed the law as a tool for cities to cut costs. But unlike Wisconsin, voters in Ohio were able to successfully overturn it at the ballot box. This certainly sends a message that manufactured attacks on working men and women in this country aren't going to be accepted, and that the proper focus going forward should be on job creation and economic opportunities for the middle class. It's also being looked at as a key victory in this swing state and a sign of what's to come next November. As America's building trades, we stand with all public workers in support of their right to have a collective voice and strength and unity. In Kentucky, Democratic Governor Steve Beshear was easily reelected last week with a policy platform that included his vocal support for project labor agreements and prevailing wage laws, a crackdown on employee misclassification abuse, and his opposition to a Kentucky right-to-work law. Conventional wisdom would have suggested that Beshear didn't stand a chance, but simply and clearly, no one should underestimate organized labor, nor should they underestimate the middle class angst that is being manifested through the various Occupy protests. This victory, combined with the Issue 2 defeat in Ohio, was an impressive double down by the American middle class in states which traditionally are tough for working men and women. After the tragedy in Japan, the American nuclear renaissance has stalled, but not completely. Every watchful eye is focused on Plant Vogtle in Georgia and the men and women of America's building trades. Some in the industry are counting on the on time, on budget, value on display, everyday mantra of the building trades to come through, because the fate of nuclear construction in America rests on Vogtle's success. But Vogtle is not the only nuclear facility under construction. VC Summer is being constructed in South Carolina by non-union workers. And while it's not an official competition, it certainly feels like one. And according to the BCTD, they wouldn't have it any other way. Reports from Vogtle show that they're meeting and exceeding all expectations and deadlines so far, essentially lapping the field at the VC Summer site. About 1,700 skilled crafts professionals have finished their pre-construction work at Vogtle and are now awaiting the Nuclear Regulatory Commission to issue its final construction and operating license. We'll keep you up to date here with more news about Plant Vogtle and VC Summer as they become available. That's it for this edition. Thanks for your time today. Share this video with a friend. See you next week.